Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between FXO's BabyK versus Roxkis LX or LZ, excuse me. Now, let's go ahead and see what LZ and BabyK will be doing in this matchup. It is going to be here on Cloud Kingdom. I almost said in Tomb Valley. Cloud Kingdom, as we see LZ spawning as the blue Zerg on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we have FXO's BabyK spawning as the red Protoss. Now, some of you guys may have watched the other cast yesterday with FXO's BabyK and Empire's Brat Talk. I believe it's Empire. Anyways, a lot of you guys asked, am I really part of Quantic Gaming? The short answer to that is yes. I am technically Quantic Crota. I am part of their media team, and a lot of you guys were wondering, would I do any co-casting with Maximus Black? That is completely up to you guys. We do work for the same, or we are partnered with the same team now. So if you want us to, definitely suggest it. Ask him. You guys have already asked me. I'm already willing, and I'm sure we can get to do something. And we'll see how our casting styles really work out together. I know that Maximus did cast one of my replays for When Cheese Fails a long time ago. But we'll see what happens in this game. Anyways, no cheese in this game so far, as we see BabyK opening up with a high ground pylon here. Interesting choice. It's not going to be able to get shot down all too easily early on, and you can actually set up gateways up here pretty easily. Overlord plus roaches may cause a problem, as we may see a Nexus first come in from BabyK. If BabyK does go for a Nexus first, that would be a very interesting opening. We can see a probe now hiding down over here. It is simply just on patrol. Gonna take a little bit of damage from that drone there, as the probe is just dancing around, and beautiful positioning by, BabyK actually getting pushed around a little bit there, as BabyK realized that his patrol was just a little bit too far. Now there is a probe down here on the low ground, a forge already being warped in, and we are getting that second pylon. An Overlord has caught sight of all of this and most likely knows that a Nexus is warping in. So far, we are going into a Queen and getting 2 Zerglings right now. Just 2 Zerglings only, waiting for that Photon Cannon to start, as we are going to be getting a very long, narrow walkway. I like this play. Where is the Photon Cannon going to be placed is the next question, as a probe should perhaps be warping in a Photon Cannon instead of trying to mine minerals. Going into double assimilators now. Not quite sure why that probe needed to go all the way back home for there, as we are going to see some Zerglings chase after this probe. The probe is down to 19 hit points. It will be able to recharge some shields, but not very much, as those Zerglings are going to be swapping positions with each other every time they get a hit off. But this is going to buy time for BabyK. That Zergling, one lone Zergling, should not be able to take down this probe. The probe should be able to recharge those shields, unless it actually gets caught up in the wrong corner. Oh, it looks like, yes, those shields are going to be able to recharge a little bit. And there you go, back up to 4 shields there. Photon Cannon now being warped in. This probe looks like it may be able to get back into the base in just a moment. Another Zergling is needed to chase down and take down a probe. Not quite sure why the Zergling was pulled. Apparently, he wanted to keep track of the Zelnaga Tower. A new base now being placed down by LZ once more. And BabyK pretty much getting all the scouting information that he needs. BabyK also utilizing the 2 probes per assimilator trick for less diminishing returns. That is a trick that we see a lot of the high-level professional players do, including Quantic Sase and the former Quantic Naniwa. And the only other thing I gotta note is that Sase also pulls his probes off of gas in order to build buildings. 2 assimilators now being warped in down here on the low ground. We may see 2 probes in there as well. Level 1 weapons upgrade. We are going into warp gate tech. And will it be enough to slow down the Zerg? Zerg have really been very strong now in the late game with Infestors and those Broodlords. Protoss players have been trying to counter with motherships and Vortex, but it hasn't really worked out well. And the battle's not going all too well. We are going to see the Stalker now make its way forward off over here. The Zergling now going to simply sit at this hatchery. Still one Overlord sitting here. And we are going to be seeing the probes perhaps warp in a low ground pylon, but there is an overlord right here by LZ, and LZ is going to spot this, building it right inside his field of vision. Not too smart of a move at all, as Zerglings are going to quickly make their way over and attempt to take it down. Stalker trying to get off some easy shots there. It looks like the Stalker is going to end up getting surrounded. Not a good move by BabyK, but no metabolic boost just quite yet. 2 Stalkers better than 1, but this Stalker really needs to be careful. It hasn't actually taken any true damage though, as we're going to be seeing perhaps a probe set up a separate proxy pylon and try to warp in. So far we do have 3 warp gates. We do have that Twilight Council with Blink possibly, but we are going into a Dark Shrine instead. LZ, does he have the ability to get some detectors and get them over there quickly? Zerg players really strong in terms of detection in Wings of Liberty, just because they can morph any overlord into an overseer, and the overall build time is only 17 seconds. So 17 seconds to build any detector that's already in the field is very strong. Queen not missing an inject there, but does take a little bit of time. The Queen may get shot down. There it goes, as the Roach is now trying to engage as well. Roaches may get cleaned up here if they're not careful. Roaches getting picked off as well, as Zealots are now trying to go after some drones, as a new round of Roaches should be coming in here in just a moment. Down it goes. The Stalkers now need to be careful, as a new round of Zealots are looking to come in, and the Zealots are going to be able to go after those Roaches pretty quickly and be very effective once more. Zerglings now coming in to swarm around. Level 1 weapons upgrade really helping out the Zerglings though, with metabolic boost, gonna be able to chase down some of those Stalkers, and BabyK perhaps overpressing his advantage, as we are now seeing a transition into Overseers and Dark Templar. BabyK in the last game was 1 step ahead every time. Now it looks like LZ is going to be 1 step ahead every time. There are 4 Dark Templars here, and the 4 Dark Templars could take down this. Nope, not going to happen. The Overseer is already there and ready to answer, and BabyK is now very far behind, as he is transitioning into a robotics facility. All right, the surprise factor not working out in his favor this time around, and now BabyK is in trouble. Harvester count 56 probes compared to 51 drones. Really heavy investment into an army by LZ, and that's normally a bad thing, but right now LZ is still very comfortable. He's running on 3 bases, and he could perhaps push in at any moment. BabyK does have some photon cannons here. Is he going to have enough with sentries in order to force field and surround? Zealots are trying to get into position. There you go. There's some force fields, as the force field not all that effective over pylons and photon cannons are up and operational, and here comes the next attack. More force fields need to come in, and there you go. The Roaches now trying to engage. The Roaches are not going to be able to engage against this 1 Immortal all too easily. Only 1 Roach engaging at a time. A second Immortal now coming and making its way over, and it looks like BabyK should have enough of a defender's advantage and push this back. 1 Immortal does get taken down. A second Immortal will get taken down as well, but not before dealing a whole bunch of damage. But BabyK now only has a whole bunch of sentries to deal with so many Roaches. The sentries have a very good range though, should be able to get out some easy shots here, as the Roaches are out of range. Sentries now going after the Overseers instead of the Roaches. Not quite sure why, as we are seeing the Roaches now try to run away. Is it going to be able to do so? Yes, it will. 73 to 108. Harvester count 59 to 61. And it doesn't really look like BabyK has a true answer to what LZ will be able to come back and attack with. That front door, this attacking position has already been weakened once. More Immortals are being added. That level 2 weapons upgrade dealing 60 damage per attack, as the Roaches now come back in again. Immortal now needs to get out some shots. Why is the Immortal backing off? Can't afford to back off here. Needs to engage and engage at the right times. 1 Zealot is going to get taken down there, as another Immortal now being added. Level 3 weapons upgrade coming in. And now Blink for those Stalkers. So if the Stalkers do make a very strong, are strong enough and have superior numbers, they will be able to peel back, regenerate shields, and trade very effectively. LZ deciding to regroup, opting to take up a 4th base now, as he knows or as he suspects that he does have the drone advantage, or rather harvester advantage. BabyK being very smart, utilizing warp gates here to make sure that no units can flank in from this side. He wants to make sure that he only has to deal with this wide open area for any sort of major attacks. The overlords do have kept track of this area right there, though, as overseers are finally being added. Is there enough stalkers, though? Only 3 stalkers. More stalkers need to be added. 5 more now being warped in, as we are going into the level 1 armor upgrades. Infestors, ventral sacks, 2/2 upgrades coming in for all for the Zerglings, which will be the proper counter to those stalkers, as the hatchery is nearing completion. All right, are we taking the tier 3? No, not quite yet. It looks like the ventral sacks are gonna be completed. We are at the infestation pit, ready to go. Overseers LZ still sitting on a much larger army, but BabyK is not far behind at all, getting up another immortal, and those immortals are gonna be key in taking down all of those roaches. Stalkers, Dark Templars are in position. Can the stalkers perhaps shoot down the units? And here we go. Are we gonna get a fungal growth? There's some force fields, and a beautiful line of force fields there, as the immortals are now left in the front. The stalkers are engaging. Overseers are just being left behind here, as the immortals are doing a great job. But now in come the infested Terrans being launched over the wall, and now they do need to retreat. Stalkers are beautifully deciding to retreat here. Overseers and overlords getting taken down here. 1 overseer is left, but the Dark Templar is already down, as BabyK has no real answer for those infested swarm eggs, those infested Terrans, dealing so much damage to those immortals. Very fast attack speed, exactly what you need in order to get around the immortals' hardened shields. The roaches are not the answer there, as LZ now down to 128, and a beautiful play by BabyK, though, as we now see we are pretty even once more. Stalkers going to try to finish off the rest of the infested Terrans there, as we are now going to get into an engagement. Another overlord getting shot down out of the high ground. And what is this? LZ was forced to train up a whole bunch of overlords. That is going to hurt his larva count, but he has been on top of injects, still sitting on 15 larvae. We are going into hive tech now. You can see the injects are still working away, and that's going to be very important, as we're going to now see a transition over into that 4th base attack position. Stalkers with 3/1 upgrades. We are going into a Spire, and BabyK is playing beautifully after being behind much of the game. BabyK now running up on 6 gas. He has transferred a whole bunch of harvesters into all of them here. We can see a nice large number of stalkers just now being warped in. Shield upgrades being added as well in order to help with help against all of those infested Terrans. I don't believe range upgrades have been completed at all. No, not at all. So those infested Terrans, if there is full shields on those immortals, will be taking a lot less damage from those infested Terrans as well. The stalkers may decide to blink in and try to take down these infestors if the infestors get a little bit too happy. There is 1 overseer here, as now this nexus is going to fall. There is nothing preventing this base, as now a major attack here. Stalkers need to blink back. Oh, a bad position, as LZ is getting off some beautiful fungal growth. Stalkers are still trying to blink back here. Zerglings up front. Zealots unable to engage as they're behind the stalkers, and they're finally able to launch a counterattack here. More infested Terrans now coming in. Archons are now being merged, as well as the stalkers could be able to blink forward and chase down more infested Terrans. It looks like, or infestors, it looks like they will be able to do exactly that, as some Zerglings now trying to come back. BabyK at 164 compared to LZ's 121. And LZ perhaps shocked and surprised at how far behind he is. This base is going to fall here down to 126 compared to 168. Infestors, not enough energy. There we go. Archon in the front position, already with 20 kills, getting off a lot of kills on those Zerglings. The Zealots are now tanking a lot of that damage, as there's the GG by LZ. BabyK taking game 1 here on Cloud Kingdom. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1. Stay tuned for game 2.